Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Han Solo. This is number 8 and comes with us, I believe, from the second series of the Star Wars Black Series. The Black Series are 6-inch figures, comes with a slew of different accessories. He comes with a Stormtrooper blaster, Han's trusty side blaster. It also comes with a holster as well. I know Spot really wanted to get around to reviewing the Black Series figures, and just for one reason or another, I just never got around to it. The first wave, I think, are still showing in most stores. Like my local Toys R Us has them. And maybe I will go back and eventually pick those up. But this line specifically, Series 2, I definitely want to pick up because it had the likes of like Boba Fett, Slave Leia, Han Solo, and Greedo. So a good lineup. On the back of the package, a very, very small read-up. This is Star Wars number 8, Han Solo. Han Solo has a final showdown with the bounty hunter Greedo in the Mos Eisley Cantina. That's all it says. It also says it in French. It also says it in Spanish as well. Depending on your age, or depending on really your feelings, Han either shot first or shot second. I think Han shot first, but that's just me. It says some poses may require additional support. We'll certainly see you that. And you can head over to www.starwars.hasbro.com. Spot's going to be looking at all 4 figures from the new series of Black Series 6-inch figures. So we'll first start having a look at Han Solo, and then we'll be having a look at the other figures in subsequent reviews. In the meantime, though, Spot's going to take a break, get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Han Solo. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. So, having a look at Han Solo, he does actually come with some pretty decent accessories. For starters, he comes with his very famous Han Solo side holster. His blaster will be going in there, and I'll show you how to put that on in a second, but some really nice detailing on the holster. Put that to the side. You get yourself a couple of interchangeable hands, 2 hands actually in total. And they appear to have gloves. So if you want Han Solo with gloves, without gloves, you have the option. You can use, you can switch them out. You get yourself Han Solo's trusty sidearm. I love to get this in a 1-to-1 scale. Kind of just put it in my office up on the wall. I think that'd be fun, just having that. And lastly, you get yourself a blaster. And I don't know if this is a Stormtrooper blaster or if it's just a regular Rebel blaster, but I think it's a Stormtrooper, a little Stormtrooper blaster there. Having a look at Han Solo, you know what? Gotta really give props to Hasbro. They did a really great job on this figure. He feels like, I kind of feel like he's a little too lanky, like torso-wise. I feel like he's a little too lanky versus maybe how he was in the movie. But like the likeness is very good. We're not talking like Hot Toys good. I mean, there's from the realm, when Spot says it's good likeness, it's a good likeness from the realm of a plastic action figure. And of course, you can always have the higher scale, higher end collectibles that always have, a much dead on likeness. But from a 6-inch figure, you gotta admit though, that's a pretty good likeness of Harrison Ford. Equally so, I'm guessing really, if you wanted to, you could probably just take this head off or customize this to other Harrison Ford characters. If you had a lot of craftsmanship, you can probably even turn this into Harrison Ford from Blade Runner. Obviously, a Harrison Ford Indiana Jones would be kind of cool too. I mean, it's a really good likeness of Han Solo and especially Harrison Ford. He has his vest on, which you could probably remove, being the fact that his sleeves aren't anything like a jacket or anything like that. You could just take this probably right off and he'd have his regular outfit underneath. He does also have the Stormtrooper belt on, which would allow you to take the blaster and you can just peg it on the back side there, and you can have him holding it. Well, you can have him carrying it when he's not holding it. If that isn't necessarily your thing, you can just reach around here, and Han Solo has a little snap. Just a little snap just on the side there. Get your finger on there and unpeg it. And that will take this whole belt section off. You can put that to the side. And you can take Han Solo's more familiar sight, I guess, and you can put the holster on his waist. And the same thing, you just unpeg this. Unpeg it. And there is, this one's a little harder, I find, to unpeg than the Stormtrooper one, but unpeg that. And I think you just run his feet in here. Run his leg all the way through, because you need to run this up his leg. And I don't know if there's actually an easier way to do this. There probably is, but this is the way that Spot's going to do it. Just run this up. Run it up the side of his leg. And snap this into place. Just taking the clasp, the peg there, and latching it together. And there you have Han Solo with his blaster. I think that's the right way. I'm looking on the other side here. You know what? I might actually have it the wrong way. Oh, delight. No, actually, I think I might. No, I do. I have it the wrong way. Yes, that is the way that you would want to have it. And I guess the real dead giveaway, too, was the direction, the angle in which the holster handle sits. The handle would not be obviously fitting the other way. It would be going this way. So it would be sitting in that holster. And this section right here, this clasp, should unpeg itself as well. There's a lot of little things that you have to unpeg. And this will sit just inside, like so. There you go. So you have Han Solo with his blaster in his holster, or equally so, if he's sitting with Greedo, you can have the blaster in his hand as well. The one thing I like, though, is that his hand, his trigger finger, sits actually inside the trigger of the blaster. And you can get Han Solo in some stoic poses, him with his blaster in hand. I mean, it's a really gorgeous, gorgeous looking figure. It's been a while since Spot really has gotten into like the smaller 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figures, but seeing what they're doing now with the Black Series 6-inch figures, I might even just ultimately end up sticking with this line rather than the small line of figures. In the way of Han Solo's articulation, let's just take the blaster out of his hand here. In the way of his articulation, Han Solo's head is on a ball and hinge socket joint. In other words, the head sits on a ball joint, and then the ball joint sits in its own socket. So the head will move quite a bit up and down, and also has the freedom of that ball joint. That's a great way. Best way to ever have a figure's head is on a ball hinge socket. It allows for lots of movability there. Equally so, his arms are on a hinge and socket joint as well. They rotate all the way around, rotate out. Then his elbows, his arms, are on a hinge and socket joint as well. Arms pivot and rotate. Then he has the upper torso ball joint, which again only adds to more dynamic poses you can get Solo in. And then his legs are on a pin and ball socket as well. So there's a ball socket right in his upper thigh there. And then that allows the legs quite a bit of movability. Swivel in the thigh, a nice double bend at the knee, and a pivot and hinged foot. And I guess as Han Solo goes, you probably would want to have his holster kind of hanging down the side of his thigh rather than straight out. That's usually how Han Solo had it. It's a great, great looking figure. I'm really, surprisingly, I'm really, really impressed with how Hasbro approached this line. I'm pretty certain we have gotten 6-inch Star Wars figures before. I mean, certainly not to the level that we get now. But these articulated 6-inch versions of your classic Star Wars figures, your classic Star Wars characters, I should say. I mean, it doesn't get any bit better than this. I think the likeness for Harrison Ford is definitely there, and this would be enough incentive for me to want to go and pick up more of the Black Series figures. For that reason, Han Solo, I'm going to give him a 9. A 9 for Han Solo. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look. Get that angled up there like that. There we go. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Han Solo. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to be having a look at the other 3 figures from the new Black Series 6-inch figures. Those will be definitely heading your way soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.